So that program is actually to be a program tonight highlighting Tobago and what we'll be doing in Tobago. So those of you on the program now, you could actually let your friends and those individuals know Batson and Associates. And we do have an existing office in Tobago. A pleasant good afternoon. Well, she's not in office now. It's 5:37. She would have left by 5. That is the lovely Latoya, who is always there to render assistance to you guys as regards to us getting that office up to full capacity, because we are actually training some consultants over there now from Tobago, because we always have that situation with the air bridge, and it's always good to have people there. And we're actually going to start to do a lot of online work there, especially where I am concerned, because as much as I like to be hopping planes all the time, it's not feasible or practical for the schedule that I have, right? And of course, remember, our objective is to be as effective and efficient as possible in helping you attain your health goals. So again, let me say a pleasant good afternoon. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. I saw someone there saying, pleasant good afternoon. I used to listen to your program on 103.1. That is Nandani Ramkisoon, I believe it is, 746. Yes, my dear, we actually very familiar with being with that radio station. We're going to be starting some work with them, God's willing, next year, please God. And what we're going to do in that particular situation there, of course, is allow individuals to deal with their health issues. So what is your health issue? The thing is, use this opportunity. I'm going to take some of your questions. So if you ask some questions here on the TikTok, I'm going to try my best to answer you as best as possible. I believe we are also live on our Facebook and YouTube. So we are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Ltd. And on Instagram, we are Batson and Associates. So we're discussing health from a natural and integrated perspective. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Fiola Rodda. Ms. Kamala Samaru, a pleasant good afternoon to you. Josie Smith, a pleasant good evening to you. So I'm going to continue with what I was discussing. So on Synergy, I was actually discussing the bowel problem. So this program, we're talking about to everyone who has a problem with your bowel. You have a problem with your belly. You have a problem with your stomach. So you always have some sort of issues, either your stomach, or as we say in colloquial terms, your belly hurting you. You might have problems with a lot of belching. You always passing gas, a lot of flatulence. What could that be? What could be your body telling you there? The thing is, your body always speaks to you, As a practitioner for the past 15 years, one of the things I always tell my clients and help them to understand is that you are not sick without reason. Always remember that. Even if it's necromancy. So even if somebody hit you a blow, a spiritual blow, you didn't get sick just so. There has to be some sort of reason. Going to the washroom 3-4 times for the day, but you do not empty your bowels properly. So anyone out there have ever gone to the washroom, use the washroom, but you're feeling uncomfortable, you're feeling like you have something inside of there still? That making sense to you? That ever happened to you? Now, if that is happening to you, that's a clear indication that you are not emptying your bowels properly. Remember, your small and large intestines are approximately 23 feet in length. They're approximately 23 feet in length. You have your ascending colon, you have your transverse colon, you have your descending colon, and you have that last portion there, your sigmoid colon. That is approximately 23 feet in length, and that is wrapped up in the intestines. So it means that you could have a bowel movement. So you could get a movement, you could have multiple movements for the day, but it's coming out very small, it's coming out very hard. And because of that now, you are constipated. Now, if that happens long enough, over a consistent period of time, you are now going to end up with a bowel problem. Do you know that there are people who reaches a point in their life, or there are some people reach a stage that they go to the washroom to have a number 2. So you go to the washroom to do your number 2. And when you go, you cannot go. And it's not constipation. What it is, in fact, now, it has graduated from constipation, and it is now bowel obstruction. You all heard what I said? It is no longer constipation, but it is, in fact, bowel obstruction. So in that particular case, as it relates to bowel obstruction, rather, it is a matter of individuals having to understand that you could become so sick, your intestines could become so inflamed that you now reach a stage where you have bowel obstruction. And listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to get that, you know. Because when you have bowel obstruction, you know what that means? It means that the colon is completely obstructed or partially obstructed. That is emergency surgery. That's what that is. You're going to have to be rushed to an emergency room, an emergency theater, and they're going to have to perform a surgery where they're going to have to open, they're going to have to do a colon resection, if you're lucky. If you're lucky. If it is very bad, you're going to have to end up in some cases with a temporary colostomy bag, which is, you all know what a colostomy bag is, right? A colostomy bag is a bag that you're going to have to use if they have to do a colon resection or some sort of serious surgery in the intestines because of having bowel obstruction. You don't think you want to save yourself all that pain and stress and expense? Excuse me. I would think that you would want to save yourself the pain that goes along with that. Because it means that if you have bowel obstruction, when was the last time you took a detox? 7-channel detox is a detox we carry at Batson and Associates. We are working assiduously right now to deal with our various landing pages and whatnot to assist our clients assiduously, because we have a lot of persons in various countries that want that Santulan. What is Santulan? Santulan is a 7-channel detox. It's designed to clean and detoxify kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So it means in a case like that, you are now getting an opportunity to clean the 7 channels of elimination that your body has. Your body has 7 channels in which it eliminates waste. Your kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. But keep in mind, so ask yourself the question, when I go to the washroom, when I'm going to have my number 2, when I'm finished, do I feel as if I have completely evacuated waste? And you would realize for yourself, the possibility exists that the answer to that question is no. You feel as if there are things there still. And that is because you are in a situation where you have inflammatory response in the bowels. Santulan, Golden Girl 65. Good evening. What can I use to detox? You need to get yourself some Santulan. So what you need to do is get that telephone number for Batson and Associates. We are live on our social media platforms currently. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates. And on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates TT, I believe it is. No, Batson and Associates Trinidad, I believe it is, on YouTube. So you can call us on 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. Again, that is 314-9975. You can WhatsApp us, and you can actually get information about your Santulan. Josie Smith is asking, how regular can I use Santulan? Me personally, I use Santulan at the beginning of the year. I would normally use 2 packs. And then what I would do is, like, every other month, I would use 1 pack. Or every month, I would use 1 pack. But I'll allow the 1 pack to last me the entire month, because I cleanse and detoxify on a pretty regular-ish basis. Because you have to understand, cleansing and detoxifying is dependent on a number of things. It is not everyone has to cleanse and detoxify the same way. Okay? James Tuffy is saying, so what is the digestive restore? Okay, digestive restore is not a detox. Digestive restore is like a probiotic, prebiotic digestive enzyme. It's a herbal formula, natural, that is basically designed to bring back some life to your microbiome. What is the microbiome? The microbiome is the balance in the small intestines. Now, remember your gut. Gut health is very important. You hear now a lot of people talking about gut health. They're talking about this, that type of thing, improving your guts. That has become more popular now for a number of individuals. But people like myself, we would have known of this for in excess of 15 years. I mean, because one of the things that your gut makes up 70% of your immune system. So your immune system, which is a very important system in the body as it relates to immunity, it means that in order to have healthy immunity, you have to have a healthy gut. The thing is, as regards to flushing out gallstones, there are protocols that we do for that. Gallstones are, in order for you to flush out gallstones, you have to do a protocol for a period of time to successfully get rid of all the gallstones. What a lot of people do, which is why they end up having to remove their gallbladder, is that they do not do those flushes properly. You have to know exactly what you're doing when you have gallstones in order to successfully remove them. Now, there are a lot of medical professionals tell you that if you have gallstones, they cannot be removed because of the location of the gallbladder. That is not true. I totally disagree with that statement, with those sentiments. Because we have health persons gotten, there are things that you could do to get rid of gallstones. Santulan is actually one of them. That Santulan is a 7-channel detox. It's designed to clean and detoxify kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So it means if you have asthma, Santulan is going to help you. If you have high blood pressure, Santulan is going to help you. If you have diabetes, Santulan is going to help you. If you have a painful menstrual cycle, I had a client, Wednesday, I usually have clinic days in Shagona. So we do open clinic days, and I have a lot of other consultants who work with me, but I do some clinic days. So tomorrow, please God, for example, I have a clinic day in St. James. So if it is you want an appointment to see me, you can actually come to St. James tomorrow, please God, and you could actually get that appointment, at least to do your consultation. If you're planning on doing your blood analysis, your scan, that type of thing, then of course you have to fast for 2 hours. But that is open for Friday, and this Saturday here, you can actually get that service available. That office, of course, is located at the Red Edge Mall. That's Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. And what you can do, I actually have on a Wednesday. So this Wednesday, I'll actually be doing Tobago. So all those of you in Tobago, Wednesday coming here, Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, we are actually doing some work in Tobago, and I would actually put those Tobago numbers for you on the Facebook, because those numbers are so much, I don't ever remember all the numbers, I'll be honest. Good, so that number for Tobago, of course, is 312. That is 312-4248. So again, that's 312-4248. And it means now that office is located opposite WASA. That's the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. And what you find is that you can actually come to that office and get your consultation. You can get your Santulan. We would have Nerve Restore in that office by this week here. So those of you who would have been waiting for Nerve Restore and those type of things, you will get that as well. But you can always call that number for Tobago. That Tobago number is 226. That's 226-4553. 226-4553. As well as 312-4248. Those of you on TikTok who may have a question or you want to visit us, you can always inbox us there, or you can WhatsApp us on 314. That is 314-9975. Again, that is 314-9975. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates, where we support your health naturally. Someone is asking what you have for folks who forget a lot. South days, South the DB office, you can always give DB office a call as to find out my schedule. Remember, I am one person, right? So it means if I'm doing clinics, I do not do clinics by myself. I do clinic with consultants. Apart from the consultants who would normally do the clinic because of the volume of people. I try my best to not have you coming to wait and see me sit down for 4 hours, right? We don't want that. So we need to make it as practical as possible. So I always tell persons, go to the office and get your blood analysis, get your scans and whatnot, and then your review can be done. It's easy to get a review. A review with me could take 15 minutes, even 5 minutes a review could take. So you have to understand that there are systems in place to help us to be effective and efficient in dealing with you. Remember, we deal with people time, you know. You're done spending 3 hours in traffic going home, and 3 hours after, we ain't going to make you come and sit down in our office. We try our best. Remember, you're dealing with medical issues too, so you're going to have to get a wait because we're not going to hurry and hustle your work just because of time. I don't work like that. We don't work like that. We have to be thorough in dealing with you. But at the same time, you have to get that information, and most importantly, understand the corrective protocol that is being recommended to get the results that you desire. That makes sense then? So any question you have to find out about the Santulan in terms of the price, inbox us. We will send that information for you. We have persons right now standing by to take your calls, take your messages. So, you know, it's very important that you send those messages to us. So I was just finishing up a program on Synergy TV there with the Honorable Harvey Boris. That is a program I normally do every Thursday from a little after 5, discussing health from a natural and integrated perspective. And we also have our regular schedule lives. We usually have one on a Sunday evening. That is usually Sunday from 8:30, where we discuss health and wellness. That's a question and answer that we usually have, where we give you an opportunity to ask your questions, which is something I always do because I could come on here and discuss. I could talk anything about health, anything about anatomy and physiology, but I don't want to come and sit down here and have a conversation with myself, right? I want to have a conversation with you guys. So I want you to tell me what you need issues or what you need addressing. I'm seeing it's Nardo. Nardo is saying, I seriously have problems forgetting a lot. Well, you see, the thing is, a lot of persons, and we do treatments for early signs of things like vascular dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, all those neurological diseases have root causes, right? You don't get Parkinson's just so. People will say, okay, I come from a family where it had a lot of persons who got Alzheimer's. That will say you have to get Alzheimer's. What caused them to get Alzheimer's in the first place? People have to understand that genetics, as they put it, genetic predisposition is something that you cannot fight. You would never be in control of the egg or the sperm that is going to come together to create you, you know. You wasn't there. The outcome is always dependent on the genetics that you have. True. However, keep in mind, genetic loads the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. Always remember that. A good friend of mine always says that. And I see the what's the word, boy? I see the sense in that statement where you could have specific issues that you may be genetically predisposed to. But what you do on a daily basis is what counts. So you coming to tell me you have a genetic predisposition for diabetes and you're drinking soft drink every day? You wouldn't get diabetes? Of course you're going to get it. Because your lifestyle is now one that is conducive to getting you sick. That's exactly what that's doing. It is conducive to getting you ill. So it's very important. It is imperative that we ensure to get to the root cause of the problem. Why do you have headaches? Headaches are not normal. I do not care if you have a diagnosis for migraine headaches, cluster headaches. They have all different types of headaches. You are dealing with mosquitoes. You are killing mosquitoes. Stop killing mosquitoes and deal with the stagnant water. What is your stagnant water? Why do you have dandruff? Why is your hair falling off of your head? Why are you 19 years or 25 years as a man and you have male pattern baldness? Your whole head bald. You have patches of hair falling out. It looks as if you have mange. Why is that happening? And again, I'm not attempting to be facetious, condescending, or rude, but I'm just stating facts. Why do you have alopecia? I don't know anybody who would want their hair to be falling out of their head, especially women. These women spend a lot of money. Women spend a lot of money on their hair, keratin treatments, especially when they can afford it. But you have to deal with your hair from where? Inside out. You have to deal with your hair from inside out. If you're not doing that, you're spinning top in mud. Headaches, migraine headaches, cluster headaches. Someone is asking about vertigo. So let's touch a bit on vertigo. What is vertigo? Keep in mind we are live on our social media platforms. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson Sogre. That's my correct name or my full name. And we're discussing health from a natural and integrated perspective. So vertigo, what is vertigo? Vertigo is when you have a lot of dizziness. You feel as if you get up and the room is spinning. You have a lot of problems with dizziness, lightheadedness. You're forgetting. You know what that is? That is an indication of poor blood circulation to the brain. So the products that we carry at Batson and Associates for that, you need to check out the Santulan, that 7-channel detox. But remember, Santulan is contingent on being exceptionally effective in a well-hydrated body. So what you need to do is when you're buying that Santulan, you also need to get your Alkagen water. Why? Not because Batson and Associates feel for you to buy water, but because you need it in order to get the specific recommendations and in order to get the benefits, rather, from that Santulan. So if you're planning on using Santulan and you do not drink water, listen, read my lips carefully. You need to get hydrated properly and then use the Santulan. We want you to get effective, efficient results. We do not want you to end up with healing crisis and end up more sick than you was in the beginning, which eventually passes. But I don't think you want to get extra headaches. You want things breaking out in your skin. You don't want that. So it means you need to follow the protocol and the advice properly. So inbox us rather. Keep in mind on Friday and Saturday, yours truly would be, I have an open clinic day in St. James. That is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. So if you're sick and you're fed up being sick and you want an appointment for that office, you can always WhatsApp us on 314. That is 314-9975. Again, that is 314-9975, as well as 222-8261. Again, that's 222-8261. And that is the situation with vertigo, Sarah. If you are not getting sufficient blood flow to your brain, what I suggest you can do, you can also check out, there's a product we carry called Nerve Restore. And there's also one that we carry called, oh Lord, what's the name of that product? But we have Nerve Restore. We also have something known as anthocyanin complex. Very good products. We use that for persons who have problems with poor blood circulation in the brain. We also use it for individuals who have problems with vertigo. So if you're having problems with dizziness, lightheadedness, then it is an indicator of lack of proper blood flow to the brain. Ayana Black. Why is Ayana Black stupid? Okay. There's a next question there. Lately, I'm feeling like I'm walking in space. My head feels big and dizzy. That's Jackie Jack. Well, you need to check your circulation. When was the last time you looked at your blood pressure? When was the last time? Now, the thing is, I was explaining to someone recently. Let me just answer this question from Ms. Paula Rupchan. Is Alzheimer's linked to cholesterol? There is some level of linkages to cholesterol, but most of the time, if you have high triglycerides, that's your problem, you know. High cholesterol is just a matter of adjusting certain things in the body, you know. If you understand which organ produces cholesterol in the body? Your liver. Yeah. The problem is if you have a high cholesterol, you have two types of cholesterol, right? You have LDL, which is low density lipoprotein, and which is the healthier form of cholesterol. Well, no, the not so healthy one. And then you have the HDL, which is the high density lipoprotein, which is the healthier form of cholesterol. When you have high triglycerides, that is when it is a serious indicator of your cardiovascular system or having problems with cardiovascular health. There's also something known as homocysteine, which is a test that they do. And when you have high homocysteine levels, those are usually indicators for heart attacks, strokes, vascular dementia, Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's has to do when you have the blood vessels in the brain, when you have poor cerebrovascular circulation. What is cerebrovascular circulation? Cerebrovascular circulation is circulation in the cerebrovascular hemisphere, which is your brain. So the circulation in your brain, obviously, is going to affect your memory if it's poor. It's going to affect your balance if it is poor. It's going to affect your eyesight if it is poor. People don't get Alzheimer's, just so you know. You don't get, you notice a lot of people talking about vascular dementia. Vascular dementia is a new term on the block. In the medical fraternity, vascular dementia is new. Vascular dementia, maybe about 10 years, people talking about vascular dementia. So it now means that you have to understand clearly what is causing you to have dementia in the first place. You're not getting sufficient blood flow to the brain. Golden Gabriel is asking, do you have anything for bloating? The thing is, yeah, when you're looking at bloating, I'm seeing I'm getting a call here. I was supposed to, okay. And someone is asking as regards to, yeah, anything for bloating. So for bloating, we have the Santulan is one that you could use, very good product. We also have a product called Digestive Restore and Digestive Balance. Two really, really good products that assist in bringing back balance to the gastrointestinal system. Excuse me. So, excuse me. Good. Dawn Lowe, a pleasant good evening to you. Dane Bunton, good evening to you, sir, as well. Miss Nita Cooper is saying, hi, doc. I have a family member that suffers with lots of bad headaches. What can be done for that, doc? If you have a lot of bad headaches, there could be a number of things. Usually, we'll go with the basics. Lack of blood flow to the brain, dehydration, poor circulation. Those are usually the basics. Advanced could be, God forbid, some sort of growth somewhere in the brain, some sort of tumor or something like that, especially if they have been having headaches for years. Of course, I would imagine at some point in time, they would have done some sort of CT scan or MRI, some sort of scan that would now help that particular situation. So it means that we have to ensure that we dot our I's and cross our T's. And at Batson and Associates, we do those tests. So that particular package, let me explain the package that we have. And the package is one where you do the live blood analysis, the dry blood analysis, your magnetic resonance analysis scan. And if we determine that you need any additional tests, then we send you for those tests, whether it's blood tests, MRI, CT scan, whatever the case may be. Now, I've had persons who would have gone to persons before, and they say, well, I went to somebody just like you. Note to self, let me be very, very emphatically and vehemently clear. You didn't go to somebody like me. You went to somebody who say they just do something like me. No. Yeah, one Batson and Associates, one Jason Batson. So you went to somebody who say they just do something like what Batson and them just do. They are not Batson and them. Let me get that clear. Right? And I am not attempting to, again, be rude or discredit anybody, but you just have to make sure and make a clear demarcation where people are, where certain types of information is concerned, because everybody does like to group everybody in the same category. No. Let's get that clear from the get-go. Right? Batson and Associates is an organization of trained consultants in integrative medicine. Integrative medicine is a combination of different types of medicine, primarily holistic Chinese medicine, Indian or Ayurvedic medicine, what is referred to as tribal medicine, that's way out of Africa, so Nigeria. And those, because let me tell you something, there are a lot of different types of medicine. And the application that Batson and Associates has is an application like no other. That's what 15 years of experience gives you. Good? So let's make it abundantly clear that you didn't go to somebody like me. You went to somebody who must be this do blood analysis, or say that this do scan, or say that this do blood analysis. But no, you didn't go to Batson and Associates. And I'm saying that to say that a lot of people have to understand that when you are sick, and when you have been sick for years, you want to have diabetes for 20 years and then come in my office and expect me to fix you in a month? You're going mad or what? You don't need diabetes, you need to get a head check. Because you have to understand that the body heals itself, but it has to take time to do that. And you have to do the correct things over the correct period of times, and you have to be disciplined and conscientious in what you're doing. You have to be disciplined and consistent. What's the word? Consistent. And those of you who are not consistent, you know yourself. You will start to do something, you take 2 drinks for the week, you take 2 capsules or whatever they give you, and you find in a week time it's not working and you stop. You're mad? Things don't work like that. Things don't work like that. You have to give it sufficient time to deal with what it needs to deal with. Always remember that. So understand that clearly. But my question is, why do you have diabetes for 20 years? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, let me answer a question here. Let me see. Ruby Sammy says, good evening, Dr. Batson. Germany DC, haha, totally agree. Petra Francis says, what about when you're getting a lot of ingrown hair? The ingrown hair inside the skin. Well, listen to me. Ingrown hair that is genetics. That is when you have to blame your mother and your father for if they didn't go with, yeah, I get ingrown hairs. Which is why I don't use razors on my face. I cannot use it on my face because I will get ingrown. Ingrown hairs has to do with the texture of your skin and of your hair, and the way your hair grows. So there are a lot of people of various ethnicities. You usually find people like Chinese and people who are Caucasian, that type of thing. They don't really get those. So, but the mixed type of people who have a little mix of something in them, they usually are the ones who tend to get ingrowns, especially if your hair is very thick. And then sometimes the way your hair grows, it grows. Some people hair grows flat. Some people hair, when you cut it, it actually turns on the inside. So ingrown really has to do with your hair removal technique. So you're going to have to determine, you might have to get a machine, or you might have to use something, or you might have to wax or do something if you really want to get rid of that hair, right? Especially if you're a female, because of course, as a female, you don't want to be a hairy bear. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a different thing where that is concerned. That has to do with the way your hair grows. And what you may have to do sometimes is get some sort of advice from someone who does waxing or those hair removal treatments. The safe ones, of course, because I always tell people hair removal is not really, depending the way it is done, it could be detrimental. So do your research. Dr. Batson can't give you the answer for all the questions, as much as I would like to, but that is impossible. I do not know everything, right? So in that light, you could pay attention to that, right? Let me see. Flavored Flavor says, do you recommend biopsy when lump is discovered after biopsy and ultrasound in breast? I personally am not a great fan of biopsies at all, any kind of biopsy, because all doctors take a Hippocratic oath, and that oath tells you that you have to do the least amount of harm to your patient. So you always try your best in working with your patient to do the least amount of harm and to do less invasive procedures. Surgeries should only be emergency. I always tell people that. Excuse me. You're going to have a lot of people who don't agree with me there, including the surgeons, but that's okay. You always should be left. Surgery should be last resort, emergency. If you think you have a lump in your breast, you do a breast ultrasound, and based on the ultrasound, you may end up having to do a CT or MRI, depending on how bad the situation is. In that particular case, it means now that you have to now get all the necessary information, and then we can work on the lump. Remember, there are a lot of lumps that are not necessarily cancerous lumps. You have lumps that are known as fibristic breasts, which is where you have like fibrosis, that very hard protein, that fibrin in the breast. And that is as a result of poor circulation in the breast itself. Now, one of the things that we do, there's a company that I do work with that actually has a bra. And I was very impressed with this bra because of what the bra does. The bra is actually a medical device. So look, you can look out for a lot of talks and chats on that later on, where we will actually be talking about that particular bra to help a lot of women. Because ladies, let me tell you something. There are a lot of brassiers that you all wear that actually damage you. Now, yes, we want all it to look nice and fancy, but you have to understand that a bra and your breasts, especially if you have large breasts, you need to have proper brassiers to hold your breast properly. You can't have large breasts and not have proper brassiers to hold your breast properly. You're going to damage yourself. And that's why a lot of women who have large breasts end up later on with problems. They have problems with the back and the spine because you need to get a proper bra to hold everything in place. Remember, and even when you have young ladies who are now in the stage of developing, you want them to actually have wear a bra that helps to position even the nipples properly and that type of thing. There are women who have inverted nipples. If you are female and you have an inverted nipple, that is not a healthy thing. That is a sign of an unhealthy breast. So it means that there are things that you would need to do to have that situation addressed. Okay, so I hope Flavored Flavor, I would have answered your question. Miss Elizabeth Nandlal, she says, hi, Doc. I went to Debbie today. Your senior consultant and staff was so accommodating as usual. I almost didn't make out Miss Ramdan. Okay, thank you very much, Miss Nandlal. Kahila Mackenzie says, good evening. Is there any IT in stock? No, we do not have any IT in stock right now. What we have for eyes in stock, we have the anthocyanin complex, and we will be getting IT, God's willing, by month 10, we would have IT in stock. Miss Pearl Passad, always a pleasure to have you on. Sherry Russell, a good evening to you. Keep in mind, we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. On TikTok, we are Batson and Associates. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. We are live on our TikTok. So as I said, Ms. Hart, a pleasant good afternoon to you. Jewel, good afternoon to you. So keep in mind, any questions that you want to ask as regards to Batson and Associates, as regards to our products and services, you can feel free to inbox us, and we're going to give you the information. If you need an appointment with yours truly, I am available at sometimes. I cannot be available at all times because then the line gets very long. And there was a point in time that line was a year long. To get an appointment to see me would have taken you 1 year. We are going back to that place again because of the volume of work that we have, a lot of our clients. Because the thing is, when you have satisfied clients who came to your organization and got results, they're going to go and tell other people. They are definitely going to tell other persons. Good. Why do you have diabetes for 10 years? Why is your toe rotting? Why do you have a hole in your foot? If you're serious and you want help, note, if you're serious and you want help, and you understand that your health is your wealth, because there are plenty of people don't understand that. There are people that come to you and the first thing they come to you and you won't, you're complaining about money. Oh God, I don't. No. You start bad. You start bad. You don't go to the grocery and tell them you don't have any money because you're going with it to do what? You're going to buy food, right? So if you're dealing with your health and you have an issue, and that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand, and that's why I always get tied up and trap up like market crab. You have to understand that a lot of times when you're dealing with medical doctors are just for emergency, And I respect them. I'm not discrediting anybody in any way. We need what people like I do, people like myself do, because you have to understand that if your lifestyle got you diabetes, then is your lifestyle have to take you out of diabetes. Don't let nobody fool you and talk no foolishness. You know why you get diabetes, plenty of y'all. You was an alcoholic, you was licorice and greedy and you used to eat everything in sight and you're not listening because you believe you could out-eat diabetes or you could out-eat and outsmart God by eating foolishness, putting it in your body, and then when you get the consequence of your action, you're upset with everybody. No, it don't work so. It don't work so at all, at all, at all, at all, at all. Why are you diabetic? Why are you hypertensive? Why, as a female, you have a painful menstrual cycle? I say it over and over and over and over and over again. If you are a female, I do not care how old you are. I don't care what old wife tale you hear your grandmother tell you. If you throw your sanitary napkin in the sea, how you no. If you have a painful menstrual cycle in this modern day and age, as a female, you have hormonal imbalance, and it is just a matter of time before you end up in a situation where you have either uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, and whatever. The list goes on and on and on. Mind your business. Women with fibroids, stop having fibroids and say the doctor tell you the fibroid's small. Your fibroids are going to eventually get what? Bigger. If you have a fibroid that is 2 centimeters in diameter this year, and you continue eating foolishness and not taking care of yourself, in 5 years, how big the fibroid will be? The same 2 centimeters? No, it will get big like this. And then you're going to get a menstrual cycle and you're going to be bleeding. I don't want to make it come across rude. You're going to be bleeding. You're going to have a lot of pain. Jewel is saying, Doc, I get no pain in my cycle, but I eat very clean. I still have other issues, though. I need to see you. No problem, Jewel. Make your appointment and come let us deal with you. There's a product we carry at Batson and Associates called Women's Formula. Women's Formula is a product that is designed to do work on your endocrine system. What is your endocrine system? So your endocrine system is your thyroid, parathyroid, pituitary, adrenals, all those. So it means that if you have a problem with your endocrine system, you are in serious trouble, because it means that that cycle later on, as Jewel said, there are some people who do not get pain enough. And that's the worst kind of people. Because let me tell you something. If you're getting pain, your body telling you, hey, something wrong. But when you're not getting pain, and you have things like endometriosis, adenomyosis, fibroids, ovarian cysts, you know what that means? It means that the body trying to deal with it, but it's going to reach a point where the body would not be able to deal with it again. And then you're going to reach the point of having chronic, what? Inflammation in the womb. And that is where cancer is coming. You do not get ovarian cancer just like that. You do not get uterine cancer just like that. Don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself for 1 minute. What you eventually get is as a result of years, or in some cases months, depending on how ridiculous your circumstances, and it's stress. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about. I'm going to do that on a subsequent program. I'm going to talk about stress and how stress can make you sick. Because remember, stress increases what? Cortisol. What is cortisol? Cortisol is the stress hormone in the body. When you have excessive cortisol in the body, you are in a situation where you have chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation. When you have chronic inflammation, as a man, okay, let me just jump over on the next slide here quickly. Men with prostate problems, so prostatitis. I have to do a whole program for men, because all they harden and don't listen and display stupid in this big modern day and age. Nobody is putting their finger in your anus to determine if you have a prostate problem. Nobody does that again. There are various types of tests that can be done to determine if you have a prostate problem. Stop being foolish and sitting down home in your house and you know you're sick with your prostate and you leave it. You are going to suffer. You are going to suffer. You are going to suffer. A lot of people just buy the problems wholesale. You know? As my great-grandmother used to say, you back up a 3-ton and you just went and buy trouble. Because you're not following what you're supposed to do. You're not doing that. You have to mind your business. So if you want help, walk with whatever medical reports you have, make an appointment. We do have a walk-in clinic tomorrow, please God, at Red Edge Mall. Tomorrow, please God, from 10, we have a walk-in clinic. That clinic is going to go from 10 to 6 tomorrow, please God, at Red Edge Mall. So if you want an appointment, you can come and get an appointment. If you plan on doing the package that we have, you could always call the office and find out the price for that package, or you could inbox us. You just need to fast for 2 hours because we have to take bloods to do that live nutritional blood cell analysis. Take advantage of that. That is tomorrow, please God, Friday and Saturday at Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. So you can take advantage of that. That telephone number, you could inbox us here, or you could call us on 222-8261. Again, that's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. Again, that is 314-9975. We are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates on Instagram. On Facebook, we are Batson and Associates Limited, and on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates TT. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Sherry Russell, Miss Abigail Whiskey. She says, good evening, Dr. Batson. What causes numbness in the toes and thumbs, finger at times? Poor circulation. If you have problems, have you moved from Shogunas near the gas station at the flyover? No, my dear, we are still there. That office is the Shogunas office. That is the first floor of Money Talks building. You can WhatsApp 314-9975. Again, 314-9975. Get a happier life? Ask that question. You could also call 222. That's 222-8261. Again, 222-8261. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates, where we support your health naturally. We're discussing health. Usually on a Thursday, we have that program with Synergy, that program on Synergy TV there with Mr. Harvey Boris, the hot seat. So I just finished that program and we started our live. So I'm just going to go for the next 13 minutes to cover an hour from that live. But you will also join us every Thursday on Synergy TV from about 5:10, where I usually do that program with Mr. Harvey Boris. Sherman Sheriff is saying, can you treat IgA neuropathy? Yes, we can. Let me tell you how you get neuropathy. Anyone who has neuropathy has very bad circulation. In order to fix that neuropathy, you have to fix that circulation. And we do that at Batson and Associates quite successfully. We do an integrative diabetic clinic, which is going to become more and more popular in the very near future. And that clinic, of course, is designed to deal with individuals who have issues associated with neuropathy problems. Because when you have neuropathy, the next thing you're going to have, God forbid, is some sort of sore foot or some sort of venous ulcer or some sort of venous insufficiency. Very, very important that you work on that. Okay. To clean and detoxify kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Okay, so it's again very important that Santulan be taken, of course, with the alkagen water. Very important, because the alkagen water is very important in hydrating and actually helping in removing those toxins from the body. Don't be cheap with your health. because you feel you don't need to get water. That's the problem with people. Don't come to the people who trained to help you for you to give them advice. That make no sense. But hey, stay home in your house and do whatever it is you wanted to do in your house. We're not going through that. Okay? So we apologize. The live went off there a bit. So I am back on Facebook. On Facebook, we are Batson and Associates Limited. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Ltd. And you're listening to Dr. Jason Batson. As regards to the cleanser, I do not call price. I don't ever say price when I'm doing my podcast. So what I tell persons is all you do is inbox us here and we will send the price for you. Okay? Painful lumps along the shin bone, asking for someone. If you have painful lumps along the shin bone, that's strange. I never heard about that. There are lumps that you could have in the body called lipomas. Lipomas are fat lumps under the surface of your skin. So I don't know if it's that they have and it's close to the shin bone. But I'm going to have to get some more information where that is concerned. IgA neuropathy is not caused by poor circulation. Okay, so let me check out what it is you're saying. Listen to me. I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm gonna be very, very respectful in what I'm saying to you. Let me just check something, because they have all different types of diseases, But I don't know if you heard the analogy that I gave with the mosquito, the stagnant water and the mosquito. A lot of the times your diagnosis is not important, and that's not me attempting to be rude in any way. Okay, so let me look at something here. So you're saying that it's IgA neuropathy. So I am going to look and see overall. Let me see. IgA neuropathy, also known as Buerger's disease, is a synparagenetic gluma aspect disease. Okay, this has to do with the immune system, with the kidneys. So this is okay. 1 second. Yes, now. There isn't a cure for this condition. Well, that's what it is always tell you. With the right treatment, people can keep their kidneys as healthy possible to slow the disease. About in 1 to 4 adults, IgA neuropathy, okay, eventually gets ESRD, right? In 1% of the children, neuropathy develop, okay, is caused by symptoms. Oh, okay, good. All right. Well, okay. Nice. So, the thing is, as regards to that, so based on the way I typed it, I just saw the neuropathy. I didn't see the RGA, and based on how you spelled it. Okay, good. So, based on what they're saying, and to the person who said, okay, to read yada, anyway, let me know, because you always have people who would always say something. I have helped persons, Mr. Not a Real Doctor, who had an ESR. You know what an ESR is? So to the person who asked the question about the kidneys, what you're supposed to do, get a full kidney blood profile, get your ESR results, and bring it for me. And I will show you who a real doctor is. Because it means, based on that condition that I just read there, because you have over 50,000 named diseases. There is no doctor in the world that knows all the diseases that exist. First, to begin with. Let me put you in your place. One time. There are no doctor in the world know all the diseases that they had. So when he typed, it looked as neuropathy. And neuropathy is usually caused by poor circulation. So read yada, let me put you in your place one time. Come off my page with your nonsense. Right? Good. So when I looked at it properly and I saw the IgA, and it was even spelled correctly, I went in and I Googled it. And what it said, it has to do with the kidneys. I am an integrated specialist. So you know what that means? Good. It is, no, I know Yolan, but I just wanted to make that point because it is some people, you got to put them in the place one time. So I don't usually answer everybody, but I need to answer this person. So what I am saying, that is the correct spelling, sir. Yes. What I am saying is that your diagnosis is not the end result of what is causing your problem. Understand what I'm saying? So I looked at it, and based on what I read, I could always do research afterwards, because you have over 60,000 named diseases. We have rare diseases out there. Good? And a lot of the times that you find what is the root cause of the problem. So when I looked at it, so let me explain. So the organ system that is being affected is the kidneys. Good? Now, if your kidneys being affected, let's go back a little further. It means that you have some sort of circulatory problem as well. Because let me give you an example. Look at hypertension. Hypertension, do you know that hypertension is one of the primary reasons for kidney disease? Various types of kidney. You have so many different types of kidney diseases. You have so many diseases that could affect the heart. You have so many diseases that could affect the thyroid. You have so many diseases that could affect the endocrine system. You have so many diseases that could affect the musculoskeletal system. So in this particular case, if it is based on what I saw there, they are saying that you have a problem with your kidney. And what I read there so far, it shows that the functionality of the kidney becomes damaged over a period of time. So there is something that they check known as your EGFR, which is the glomerular filtration rate of the kidney. So based on what I saw there, it means that your kidney is going to be affected and the functionality of the kidney is also going to be affected. Basic. That's all we need to know. And from there, we will take the necessary steps to correct it. So that is why I got a little emotional and a little annoyed there, because I don't like when people do that. However, usually I do not answer detractors. So that's the last person I'll answer, but I just needed to answer that. So Mr. Sherman, if it is you serious, sir, and you want some help, I suggest you get all your reports, all of them, and make an appointment. And we will help you. Good? You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates, where we support your health naturally. We are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Ltd on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates Ltd. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. And on TikTok, we are Batson and Associates. Let me make one point too. You do not do the work that I have been doing for 15 years and have 5 clinics in Trinidad, which are going to become very larger. Well, they're going to come not very larger. They're going to become larger and more popular as time go by, and people want your work to work in Barbados and Grenada, and you have clients all over the world if you wasn't good at what you're doing, right? So I will ignore going forward. But that's why I got upset, because not all doctors will hear all diseases. You have some doctors, they just look at Google more than anything else, right? Good. So as I said, sir, you want help, you get all your information, and I will help you. Good. Now, so we're talking to, so it's just about 3 minutes before we finish. I will be doing our next live this evening. So I will do a live for you guys from 8:30. We'll do it from 8:30 till about 9:30, or from 9 to about 10, right? And that program, we're going to talk about prostate health. And we're also going to touch a bit on depression and anxiety, simply because, you know, last month was suicide, World Suicide Awareness Month, because we have a lot of young people now committing suicide. And of course, you know, a healthy, well-thinking mind does not commit suicide, right? You know, we have a lot of persons with various mental health issues, and it is very important that we pay attention to mental health. We pay attention to depression. Ladies, I don't ever forget you. As regards to that PMS and that postmenopausal syndrome that a lot of persons have, is always important to pay very close attention to yourselves. So if you're starting to figure that you're reaching the age of menopause or you're post-menopause, and you're starting to experience things like loss of memory, insomnia, vaginal dryness, irritability, emotional distress, that type of thing, it's very important that you pay attention to that. Because again, like the analogy that I always use, remember the mosquitoes. Remember with the diagnosis with the mosquitoes, the stagnant water is going to cause mosquitoes. You do not know with certainty how many mosquitoes you're going to get. You do not know with certainty where the mosquito is going to be. But at the end of the day, you know you have what? Mosquitoes. So when I tell you your diagnosis is not important, let me explain to you all 1 minute why I said that. I got someone who came to me. The diagnosis was connective tissue disorder. This was the diagnosis. So when the lady came to me and she brought all her blood work, Of course, I wanted to see the ESR, which is the erythrocyte sedimentation ratio. That looks at elevated inflammation in the body. I also looked at the CRP, which is acronym for the CRP is the is the ESR, which is the erythrocyte sedimentation ratio, and the C-reactive protein. Good, that's what it is. So the C-reactive protein, whenever you have high C-reactive protein blood results and you have high ESRs, those are markers that are used from a qualitative perspective, numbers in medicine, to determine inflammation in the body. Good? So the diagnosis, so the mosquitoes in this particular case was connective tissue disorder. But the problem was chronic inflammation, which is the stagnant water. So understand what I'm saying. So when she came to me, I said, but who told you have connective tissue disorder? She said the doctor told her they run various tests and they narrowed it down, but they're not too sure, because at first they was telling her she had lupus, then they was telling her it's fibromyalgia, then they was telling her it's connective tissue disorder. So listen to the point that I made. I said, listen to me, ma'am. Based on what I have seen here, when we did the blood analysis, we did the magnetic resonance analysis, and all this type of thing, what I have realized is you have high inflammation, you have high oxidative stress, and you have lactic acidosis. Those were her root causes. So the end problem was not connective tissue disorder. It was not lupus. What she had was high inflammatory response in the musculoskeletal system. So as a result of that, she used to feel like her skin was burning her. She used to have a lot of pins and needles. She used to have a lot of cramping under the feet, that type of thing. So in that particular instance, we were able to correct the situation by dealing with what? The root cause of the problem. And in correcting that, all the other symptomology that she had went. And you know what they did? They put her out of the clinic. Because she now got better, because we did not treat the symptomology, but we dealt with what? We dealt with the cause. So if you have a problem with your kidney or you have a problem with your liver, respectfully, they're going to give you all kind of fancy names. They come up with a disease every day. You know how much different types of cancer it have? Some years ago, they only used to talk about Alzheimer's. They now have something called vascular dementia. Before vascular dementia, they had dementia. But now they have vascular dementia. So where's the difference? Where's the difference? The difference with vascular dementia and Alzheimer's, what they realize is that is early signs before. So the thing is, you're going to have a lot of diseases that they're going to come up with. The mosquito. So if you get an Aedes aegypti mosquito and whatever other kind of mosquito, I never study mosquitoes. I could go and research and see how much different type of mosquito it has. But I know it don't have one type of mosquito. I know the Aedes aegypti is one type. But the point I'm making, you don't need to get into the nitty-gritty of the diagnosis. You know? That's the problem with a lot of people. I have had people who come to me, who came to us, who had 6 specialists they went to. I'll give you all this next thing before I finish this program, because I was because you have to put people in the place. So let me put them in the place one time. I not no fly-by-night imps who don't know what I'm talking about. I do this 15 years now, and I deal with thousands of people. So you have to understand you need different doctors for different things. Good? This particular lady came to me, was a young person, about 15 years. When they came to me, they brought 6 different folders from 6 different specialists. They went to a gastroenterologist. They went to a neurologist. They went to a pediatrician. Yeah, money these people spend. They went by, I think, a rheumatologist and 2 other people. Real money, yeah? Must be over $150,000 these poor people spend. And they're spinning top in mud, so. When I tell you spinning top in mud, spinning top in mud. The problem that the person had, they had chronic headaches. They had painful menstrual cycle. But they came to me for chronic headaches. They had bad headaches. Well, I want you to listen to this good, eh? So when they came and I sat down, they came with a family member, brought them. The person was young, about 15 years. When the person sat down in front of me, let me tell you something. It had doctor, doctor, and doctor. I am not a surgical specialist. I do not perform surgeries. My training is integrative medicine, holistic medicine, bachelor's, master's, PhD. Right? I am not a NB or I do not have a MBBS. And I do not claim to have one, and I do not want one. Let me get that clear, right? You need different doctors for different things. Good. So here, the situation. 6 specialists. The files on them thick, so one file big like that. So I told them, I said, I don't think I'll bring that for me to read today. They said, no, but we got some information. And then, you know, people just watch you in a kind of way too, because they see you and your head wrap up, because I had locks by that time. So, you know how people just make judgments on you because you define, you know, you look a particular way. Because apparently to be a doctor in this country, you have to have a particular look. Wrong person. Don't come around me with that nonsense. I clean, I well mark, my hair does smell good. I look good. I just take care of myself. And I just be respectful to people. Good. So in dealing with the individual now, I looked at that person. And let me tell you something. From the time I looked at that young lady, the first question I asked her, I ignored every file I had in front of me. You know what I asked her? The first thing I asked her, I said, how much water do you drink? She put down her head. She said, Dr. Batson, I don't drink water. If I drink 1 glass of water, I drink plenty. Now, on the paper, they put more. On the paper, she put about 6 glasses. But I knew when I looked at her alone, just by looking at her, I knew that she didn't used to drink water. I told her, I asked her, now they came to me for headaches. You know what's the next question I asked her? I said, when you get your menstrual cycle on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst and 1 being the best, what number are you as regards to pain? The person who brought them said, no, she doesn't have pain. I said, ma'am, with all due respect, I am not speaking to you. I'm speaking to her. Let her answer. You know what that young lady said? She said on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, her period is at 20. So she has a very painful menstrual cycle. Good? Let me get correct. I ain't touched this person yet, you know. We ain't do an examination. We ain't check blood. We ain't do blood analysis, nothing. I just talking. This is, I just observing based on my experience. I say, good. I said, how often do you get bowel movement? The person with her want to answer. I say, you don't answer. Let her answer. You know what that young lady said? She said, I get bowel movement, 1 to 2 bowel movements for the week. You went by 6 specialists. 6 people examine you and take your money and make you spend how much money and still couldn't tell you what's wrong with you. And Dr. Batson, just by a few questions, I already know the answer to the question already, you know, by going through the process, because I want to see the level of nonsense in your body. I asked her, I said, could you please show me your tongue? Listen to me, Trinidad and Tobago. The people on TikTok and all the social media platforms, if you see the condition of this young lady's tongue, it was looking like if somebody take a knife and cut it up, and you take charcoal and throw it on it. Black. Do you know that your tongue is an exact replica of your intestines? You know that? Do you know that? Your tongue. So push out your tongue now and watch your tongue. You know when your tongue always coated? And your tongue looking tick, tick, tick with a sort of mucus on top of it, that is how your intestines does look. So automatically, this young lady had to have the problems that she had. Notice, she came to us for headaches, you know. And in less than 10 minutes, I asked her questions about her menstrual cycle, which I knew was painful. I asked her about her bowel movement, which I know she wasn't having. The people who brought her thought that she was having bowel movement every day. She wasn't going off. So you know what was her problem? She suffers from something known as auto-intoxication. You know what auto-intoxication is? Auto is the prefix self, and intoxication is poison. Auto-intoxication. So she can't get better. And that is why I said what I said at the beginning when the person was fast and out of the place. Because normally I don't put people in the place. But that person deserved to be put in the place. Don't come in my life with your stupidness. Don't do it. I'm not your friend. And I'm not looking for friends. I'm simply presenting information. If you are in disagreement with what I say, turn off your life. Don't disrespect me like that. Don't do it. I'm not tolerating that from anybody. Good? And let me tell you something, the headaches that that young lady had, in 1 week time, her headaches went. And she came to us having headaches for 5 years. So Mr. Who think I is not a doctor and telling the man to go by a real doctor, mind your business. You need different doctors for different reasons. Understand that. So her problem was auto-intoxication. And there are a lot of people who suffer from auto-intoxication. Why you think when I come on the live and I talking to people, I always tell all you about drinking water. Let me tell you something. No doctor in the world, if you go to a doctor and the doctor don't ask you how much water you're drinking, what kind of bowel movement you're having, and what you just eat, that doctor don't know what you're doing. I tell you so. But you have to understand that Western doctors do things differently as regards to what they learn. We could agree to disagree. But don't say I is not a doctor. You're out of your place, brother man. I wish you was on this life still. Because you're getting, that is, I'm putting you in your place. Don't come at me so. Don't come at me like that. Good? And people don't ask. You see what Get Happier Life say? They don't ask you those questions. So you tell me something. If you having headaches all the time, and your body is 70% water, and you're not drinking water, you expect to be healthy? Answer me. If you, let me give you a simple analogy. If your house dirty, who does eat on the bed? Do you leave scraps of food? Why you just wash up wares in your kitchen? One of the things I learned as a young man growing up with my great-grandmother is you always wash wares. I get the songest cocktail at night. I was sleeping, comfortable in my bed, sleeping. And my grandmother wake me up with a broomstick straight over my back. Mr. Gentleman, go and wash my wares. I said, but you know, you're young, you can't, you know, and you know them older people, you couldn't give them any attitude and thing. I get up, calm myself, and I went and washed the wares. And you know what she told me after when I get up in the morning? She said, I know you're vexed, I beat you for washing the wares, but let me teach you something as a young man. You don't ever leave dirty wares in your sink. When you have to empty garbage, people who just cook, when you cook meat and you clean fish and thing, you just leave the fish guts and thing in your house? You just leave it in the dustbin? No. The place will start to get stink. That will start to make worms and that kind of thing. So the point I'm making is that you clean your house. You don't keep garbage in your house. Who does keep garbage in the house? You just take your garbage and empty it one time. If you clean chicken and you clean fish and thing, the guts, you stay the guts. You rest it in the deep freeze. Why are you putting it in the deep freeze? You put it in the deep freeze. Well, that's what I just do. That's what I learned to do. You put it in the deep freeze, and then when you know the garbage coming, you put it in the garbage and you put it outside because you wouldn't leave it there to smell up the place. And depending on where you're living, if dogs could get access to it and all kind of thing. The thing is, rats, cockroaches, and ants only come into what? A dirty house. If your place clean, you ain't finding no rat, you ain't finding no cockroach. You all agree with me? Tell me if you all agree with me. Good. It means that if you do not drink water, and just as in the situation with that young lady, where she getting one bowel movement for the day, she now creates an environment that is conducive to what? To pests. She wouldn't get ants and cockroach because ants and cockroach can come into the human body and live there. But she's going to get what? Pathogens. You're going to get bacteria. You're going to get candiditis. What do you think candida is? When women getting yeast infection, when you have this thing, when you have lotor on your skin and you have dandruff, you think dandruff is your scalp? Dandruff has nothing to do with your scalp. Dandruff is an indication that your 7 channels of elimination are compromised. Some of them or all of them. What are your channels of elimination? Kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. All you have to use all your brain and think. And that's why some of them so stupid and they just dead. You know why? Because you don't want to do the correct thing to get better. You're licorice, you're greedy. You don't drink water because you don't like water and all kind of foolishness, and you would even get up and go and exercise or do something. And when you go by the doctor know you're dotish and lazy. So he ain't going and ask you how much water you just drink or tell you to eat properly because they can't get anybody a diet. They will tell you, here what? Take some tablets for the pressure. When you're not drinking water, and if you start to hydrate your body, you will already start to get a better blood pressure reading. I know a doctor, a medical doctor. who had hypertension. And you know what she did? She didn't take one tablet. You know what she did? She started to exercise. She started to walk. And she called me. She said, Dr. Batson, I need some advice. Medical doctor. She said, I am not going to take any nifedipine and enalapril for my blood pressure. And she just recommend that for people every day. You know what she said? She said, I know that my diet and my lifestyle is not in accordance with the correcting. And at the case of that, it means that she did changes and she controlled and corrected her blood pressure just by exercising and improving her lifestyle. And that is what I want people to understand. Good? So I'm done with the person who say what they say, but I need to clarify myself. I get real upset there. Don't do me that. Don't do me that at all. Good? So keep in mind, we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates. Look, I'm sweating. Look all under my arm wet. First, I get annoyed. So we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates Ltd. You have been listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. Let me tell you something. This is one of the last points I will make. You have doctor, doctor, and doctor. And you need different doctors for different things. I saw that clown who say, well, you say he must be a doctor. Stupid. Because some of them ignorant and believe that, imagine you just go to some doctors and some doctors just tell you, but don't take vitamins and don't take herbs. How the hell you could tell people that? You are training in that? Stick to your lane. Drive in your lane. I just drive in my lane. When people come to me, I work with medical doctors. If you have a situation that I cannot help you with, I take you and I recommend you to the necessary people. And there are doctors who recommend people to me because my specialization is clinical nutrition, medical nutrition, endocrinology. And I have a few other areas of specialization. I can help plenty people look better, feel better. But you have to understand you need different doctors for different things. Elizabeth Nandlal say, and Jack saying you're not a doctor. Simple walking helps in lowering blood pressure. Yeah, people, you have to understand the world you're living in now, and you need to mind your business. Not everybody have your interests at heart. Take what I'm telling you. All you ain't learned that yet? You have to mind your business. Do a little bit of deep breathing. You know how much things deep breathing does do for the human body? Deep breathing, when you get up early in the morning. Why all you think? Look at the Japanese. Look at the Asians. Look at people in Malaysia. Look at people in Philippines. What do they do? You'll ever see them people's skin? When last all, let's see a big fat Chinese. It have. Nobody is saying no. But generally, you know why? Because of their lifestyle. We need to get out of this nonsense in the Western world. In the Western world, people just be greedy. All they want to be greedy and licorice. Eat everything in sight. And you're obese. You get big and fat and heavy. And then when your knees can't carry you, the doctors tell you to do a knee replacement. I wouldn't tell you that. I will tell you that you was too licorice, you was too greedy, and you need to lose weight. And if you're big enough and you're man enough to be able to take that advice and take it in stride and understand that it's constructive criticism and start to fix yourself, because you fixing where you have to fix. You ain't doing that for Dr. Batson. You're doing that for yourself. Because I just sleep good when the night comes. So if you have problems sleeping and you have problems with headache, what causing the problem in the first place? What causing your problem? That's what the problem a lot of you like. You like shortcut. You're big and fat and overweight, and you go to the doctor and the doctor telling you your knee not good. Your knee must be in good because you went, do plans and you do a foundation for a 2-story building. And now you have a 10-story building on a foundation that's supposed to take a 2-story building. You are mashing up your knees. But the doctor ain't going to tell you go and lose weight. Batson will tell you lose weight. I tell you one time, you are overweight, you are obese, you need to lose weight. The doctor going to tell you, you need to do a knee replacement. Or you understand what I'm saying? So don't come at me and talk foolishness, but I'm not a doctor, go by a real doctor. You're fast. And you better stay off my page. Good. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates, where we support your health naturally. We are live, or we have been live on our Facebook, Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. And on TikTok, we are Batson and Associates. Jackie say, well said. Thank you, darling. And tomorrow, please God, Red Edge Mall, Friday and Saturday. If you want an appointment, if you're serious, you come and let me help you. My job is to help serious people. If it is you have a problem with what I'm saying, turn off your phone. Good? As we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. The locations, we are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. The telephone number, you could inbox us here, or you could call 314, that's the WhatsApp, that's 314-9975 or 222-8261. We also have Tobago. Next week, please God, Tobago is always open, but next week, please God, you'll be able to get appointments with yours truly and the other consultants. The telephone number you can call 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. We also located in Debe. Debe is the corner of Ramsamut Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. Mr. Raymond just said, Doc, don't let them fool don't let that fool steal your joy. No, they didn't steal my joy, man. But you just have to let people know certain things. It's just good to explain, because you see, there are a lot of people out there who are ignorant, and I mean, you can't enlighten everybody, and not everybody going to agree with you, and I understand that, and I respect that. But what I am saying, a lot of people need to understand that you have different doctors for different reasons. People have to understand that Western medicine and allopathic medicine is new. That medicine is only about 175, 200 years for the most. And it's only 3 things a medical doctor could do for you. A medical doctor could write a prescription for medication. They can do a surgical procedure, and they could recommend chemotherapy and radiation. That is all. A medical doctor would not recommend a massage for you. They will not recommend detoxes for you. They would not, because that is not their training. So anybody listening to this, how many of you would have taken detoxes and the detoxes help you? Detoxes is a proven method of improving health in the body in an integrated specialist field. Good? We know they're not in the healing business, and I good with that. Good? So, with that being said, Miss Jenbury, she says, if I don't like you, I lie. Put them in their place. Good? Get off my life. Mr. Stewart, have a good day, people. So may God continue to bless you guys. Remember, check out the Santulan, check out the Alkagen water, check out the Digestive Restore, check out the Nerve Restore, that great eye drop that we have for cataract, glaucoma, detached retina. Start your deep breathing, and remember, the rule for drinking water is your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. Those offices, again, we are located on the first floor of Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. We also in Debe. Debe is the corner of Ramsamut Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. We also in Tobago. Tobago is the Triangle building in Scarborough, Tobago. And St. James, Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That is tomorrow, please God. And we always open in that office. We have open clinic there. You would be able to get an appointment there tomorrow, anywhere between 10 to 6. And you could come and sort yourself out. As Bree says, your gut rules your existence. Amen. Greetings. Good? Take care, guys. And remember, as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. God bless and enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. Remember that program, we're dealing with prostate and prostate health later this afternoon, and that is going to be from about 9 p.m. Take care, guys. God bless.